SOPA, or Society Pass, has been growing by leaps and bounds lately, particularly in Southeast Asia, where it's headquartered. And with me is Dennis Nguyen, the CEO, to explain all these acquisitions you've been doing. I've been talking to some of your executives, and it's really super exciting. So I guess give me an overview of how you're growing, and then let's go into some of the particular companies you've bought recently.
Yeah, so Society Pass is building the next generation digital ecosystem in Southeast Asia. And what does that really mean? What it really means is that we are basically acquiring different companies to form our ecosystem. And these different companies, of course, are in different verticals. Lifestyle, telecoms, digital advertising, travel, so on and so forth. We link them all together with the circulation of our loyalty points we call society points. And so that's what the next generation digital ecosystem is all about.
Yeah, so what do you look for when you're looking at one of these acquisitions?
We look for a number of things. Visionary entrepreneurs. They have to have, the founders of the companies have to be first rate in their particular field. We look for companies that are fast growing. They generally have 3-4 years of track record and growing at 50, 60, 70% a year. And then finally, of course, they have to be operating in the 5 markets that we operate in. Okay. Singapore, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, and of course Thailand.
And Thailand, okay. And kind of explain some of these acquisitions and how they're enhancing Society Pass.
So, since we started, we now have onboarded over 3.3 million registered users, as well as over 200,000 registered merchants. And of course, the onboarding has been very much through acquisitions. So, for example, NewsToTrip, our latest acquisition, it's one of the larger online travel agents. It's the Priceline.com of Southeast Asia. Brought in 1.2 million registered users onto the platform. And so, as we're trying to grow the ecosystem, and the KPIs are always 3 things: revenues, registered users, registered merchants. As we build out in the 6 verticals that we're in, we hopefully go from current 3.3 million to 10 million and 20 million and so on and so forth. As we do that, as the ecosystem gets bigger and bigger, then of course the loyalty points that are being circulated become more and more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole ecosystem that you're trying to build. I mean, I kind of think of you as almost like an Amazon, although you do have e-commerce, right? But you're in food delivery and a lot of other things too. Almost like an Amazon of Southeast Asia. Would you say that's accurate?
I think I mean, we would love to be someone to call us Amazon of Southeast Asia. That would be awesome. But yes, we do. We do have a lifestyle vertical. It's called La Flare. Yeah. It operates in Vietnam. It's one of the larger lifestyle e-commerce platforms in Vietnam. We sell women's products, shoes, dresses, suits, ties, sunglasses, so on and so forth. So we do that. Also, we do have our food and beverage delivery. We have 3 companies operating in Vietnam and Philippines. We're building the Instacart and DoorDash of Southeast Asia. Yeah. So those are the things we're building. We're bringing them onto the ecosystem. With the users and the merchants, we circulate the society points, as I said, and that's how the value is created.
So explain that. How do the points work then? People do orders, they get points, and then they get rewards or something down the road. So how does that work?
So we're all about gamifying, and you're going to learn about that word and know that word. That word's going to come into our parlance over the next 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. We're trying to gamify the retail experience. So let's say you're sitting in Manila, you're hungry, you order food, it comes there, and instead of paying $5, $10 in the form of cash, which you do, as you do that, you earn loyalty points, you earn society points. You take those society points, $5, $10 worth of society points that we give you. You then, let's say you accumulate those society points to $100, $500, $1,000 worth of society points. Then instead of down the road, if you want to fly from Manila to Jakarta, go on our travel website, NewsToTrip. With NewsToTrip, instead of spending cash, you redeem those loyalty points. Think of airline points. Think of hotel points. You redeem those loyalty points and basically a free airline ticket. Yeah. As you get there, you then, of course, with our telecoms company called Gorilla Networks, you then could get eSIM service. And so you show up into Jakarta, Indonesia, instead of buying a physical SIM card, you get eSIM service. Your mobile phone then adopts a local Indonesian phone number.
Okay.
And that's the type of synergies that we're creating within our ecosystem.
Right, right. And there's a blockchain element as well.
There is a blockchain
So explain
element.
how that works.
So Gorilla Networks, which we acquired in June, is a blockchain Web3 technology-enabled telco. So with that, we will, with our blockchain and Web3, then we're able to use that technology to, like I say, gamify it. There's a lot of rewards, a lot of loyalty points, combination and permutations of those things that we could give you. So for example, let's say you were to go on our Nusu website and you were to say, you know what, I just went to this hotel in Bali. And this hotel in Bali has this, that, and the other. We would allow you to earn points from your posting, from your tweet, from your texting of your experience there, and we would allow that. We would basically, because of our data system, of our loyalty system, we were able to aggregate all this data and then shop it off to advertisers.
Yeah, very cool. So explain in Southeast Asia. So my understanding is very young, very digitally connected population, growing economically. I know Singapore is just on fire from what I hear. So talk about that region and how that's advantageous for you to do business.
So Southeast Asia, a region of 650 million people, okay, twice the size of the United States. Growing at almost every single country this year will grow somewhere between 4% to 7.5% average GDP growth.
Okay.
The median age of the 5 countries that we're in will range somewhere between 24 to 32. You contrast that with the United States here, 41 years of median age. You contrast that with China, 42 years. You contrast that with Japan, 52 years. So this is a relatively very young population. And by the way, 82% of the population today has smartphones.
Yeah.
And so with the smartphones, you do the e-commerce, you do this, you do that. And so that all those macro elements come together in a very, very vibrant community. And here's the thing, Singapore per capita GDP is like $65,000, higher than this country. So we're not talking about a place where there's no ability to spend the cash. They spend it, and they spend it well.
Yeah. And isn't there some kind of like trade agreement among those countries as well?
So they're all part of what's called the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. But all those countries, I should say most of those countries, are also part of APEC, with the US-led Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. And they also just joined the Japan-led trade bloc. So there's a lot of free trade agreements between the various countries that really bring in a lot of investment dollars. And we're looking very excited for Southeast Asia and to be based in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, very exciting. Congratulations, Dennis, on all your success. It's been fun to meet these companies, mostly on Zoom, but it's been great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yep.